The Bible is misogynistic and patriarchal is something that you hear dumb people say. Is the Bible actually misogynistic? No. Does it contain misogyny? No. But every single person who accuses the Bible of containing misogyny, they themselves within their hearts contain misandry. Now, you've probably never heard that word. So, new word for you, misandry. It is the exact opposite of misogyny. Misogyny, let's get our definitions right, is hating women because they're women. That is sexism, that is bad. That is partiality. The Bible teaches that partiality is an abomination to God. Now, misandry is hating men because they are men. It is the exact same on the opposite parallel. It is evil, it is bad. So do we find misogyny in the Bible? Literally in 0 places do we find that. Rather, we find that God created a very specific order of things and he created a very specific design for his creation. And if we are to oppose that creation, then we are going against what God designed. So what exactly did God design within the roles of a man and a woman? Well, men and women are not equal in their abilities. Men and women are equal in their value. They are both created in the imago Dei. They are created in the image of God, but they are not equal in their capabilities. For example, a woman is much better at being nurturing than a man is, and a man is much better at protecting than a woman is. This is why we actually have those as some of our primary things, that men are supposed to be protective. That is, like, their primary job within a family is to protect his family, and a woman's primary job within the family is to nurture her children and her husband. That is a good thing. That's not just like these stereotypical gender norms or anything like that. That's the way that God designed it. He gave men and women different strengths. See, men cannot do everything that women can do, and women cannot do everything that men can do. Women were created to do everything that a man can't do, that a man cannot do. And vice versa, a man is there to do everything that a woman cannot do. The reason that they're different is because they're opposing puzzle pieces, but whenever they're put together, it creates one perfect unit. That's literally why God said that a man must leave his father and mother, be joined to his wife, and the two shall become one flesh. Because that unity of them is two opposing things that link together perfectly to create a new structure that is very, very strong and very, very capable. So wait, but in the Bible, in 1 Timothy 2, verses 11 and 12, doesn't it say that God does not permit a woman to have authority over a man? Doesn't it say that she is not to teach men, that she is not to have any authority over a man, and that she should submit to men? Yes. Is that misogynistic? No. That is the design. Men were supposed to be leaders. Women are not supposed to be leaders of anything. Women are not supposed to lead relationships. They are not supposed to lead families. And they are definitely not supposed to lead nations. In fact, if we look at Isaiah 3, verse 12, it actually tells us that God appoints female rulers when he wants to judge a nation. So if you don't know what judging a nation means, it means that whenever a nation is so evil, whenever a people has gone so far away from God, then he is going to judge them. He is going to cause them to go through something really bad. And usually what he's going to do is he's going to appoint a woman to rule over them that is going to cause this. So in the past 4 years, we were given a little sign. We were given this little thing of saying like, hey, here's a test drive. This is what's going to happen if you keep doing this. So now we have people who are wanting to vote for the passenger to take over and be the driver. We are having people who want this awful situation that our country has been going into to get even worse by electing someone that God is going to appoint specifically to judge the nation. So I want you to really think about this and hear me clearly. The election that we're about to go into is going to tell us whether or not God is furious with America or with the world in general, because America is the superpower of the world. So I genuinely want you to hear this. See, the Bible says that God appoints every ruler. Every single person that's placed in any position of authority, God puts them there. And God appoints these people for specific reasons. Whenever he appoints a woman, it is to judge the people that she is going to rule over, that she rules over them in order to judge them. And so if we literally are voting to have a woman lead America, that's not a good thing. That is us voting for God to be mad at us. That is us literally choosing God's judgment upon America. So I want you to really consider that whenever you're thinking about everything coming up. I want you to remember that this is going to be a good sign that literally tells us, is God okay with us right now? Or is God furious with us right now? Because that's exactly what we're going to learn from the election results, is whether or not God is going to severely judge America. And if we are going to be severely judged, we are going to be judged very, very badly. Like, this is going to get really dangerous. It's going to get really scary. America might not ever survive again. And I don't say that to be in like this, like, oh no, this bad thing is going to happen and she's going to be the reason for America falling. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is that we live in a country that is so absolutely divided and so absolutely opposed to God that we cannot survive under the grace of God any longer. That when God decides, hey, they're done, we are going to fall. People have theorized that America actually fell in 2020, and right now we are still in the death throes, where we are still like, whenever something dies, you'll see the central nervous system causes a lot of electrons to be passed through their body. That's causing them to kind of shake a little bit. So I don't know if ever you've seen that. It's kind of a disturbing thing. If ever you've gone hunting, something like that, whenever that's going to cause the thing to unalive, they're completely and totally dead, but their brain still has a little bit of electricity that fires through their nerves. So you'll see their bodies still continue to do certain things and twitch and spaz. It's kind of weird. And that's what America's doing right now. Potentially. If America actually died in 2020, then right now America is still looks like it could be alive. It's not, but it's still looking like it could potentially be alive. It's in the death throes. It's still spasming out because of those synapses still firing post-mortem. See, God chose for the men to be the leaders over the family. Is that misogynistic? No. It's just not DEI. DEI is demonic, evil, and idiotic. We need to avoid it at all costs because it is partiality at its finest. It is literally just saying like, hey, are you a female? Are you black? Oh, then we're just going to elevate you up because we're thinking you're not capable of doing anything on your own because you are black or because you're a woman or because you're Asian or because you're Mexican. Because you are of those, you must be stupid. That is so incredibly racist. But that's exactly what it is. That's what affirmative action is. That's what all those things are, is it's saying like, oh, instead of us actually like checking like your economic status and stuff like that, we're going to go based on your skin tone. So it's not to help people who are in a bad situation financially. It's to help people who have a very specific complexion because the people that are endorsing that stuff say, hey, you're not smart enough. You're too stupid. You are crappy. You suck because of your skin color. That is absolutely heinous, evil, disgusting, and that is partiality. That is an abomination to God. So I want you to avoid any kind of partiality on that, but I want you to remember that God assigned very specific roles for the man and for the woman, and we need to hold to what God designed. What God created, we need to establish. We need to say, yes, He created everything perfectly. We need to continue to live in His perfect design. Whenever His design falls away and when we move away from His design, that's when the bad happens. That's when He says, hey, I gave you all of this beautiful world. It is all for you. Just don't go to this one tree. And then humans say, that's oppressing me. I'm going to go to the tree anyways. That's horrible. Do not go to the tree because of a false sense of oppression. That's not what it is. Women who submit to their husbands, women who actually live within the role that they were designed to live in, they have the most prosperous lives. They have the happiest lives. And all of this stuff is statistically backed up. That the women who are actually going according to God's plan, the men who are actually going according to God's plan, they live the best, happiest lives. And there's a reason for that. I hope this made sense. Let me know what's next. Follow me on X. God bless.